All right. We're going to go ahead and get into this, giving all honor, praise, and glory to Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakakwadash.
All right, Yahweh. That's the Most High. Yahweh Shai. That's the Messiah. Give honor to the apostles of the Great Millstone Church and the elder bishops. Salutations and salutations to the rest. Hopefully, that the elders I get also in the same branch. All right, so we the Hebrew Israelites, true Israelites. All right, people of the book coming back and prophesy. All right, do the work of the Heavenly Father, feed the lambs, feed the flock. You know, and help this great work. Right, help the things that need to be realized in the earth be realized. All right, let's kick it off with that. Deuteronomy 32:2.
Yep.
As the Lord said, His doctrine, which He has given unto us, right, as a heritage, which is in Sirach 24. We can also hold that.
Yep.
It's likened unto what? It's likened unto do.
I'm there.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 2. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb.
See, is what? His doctrine. All right, let's read that one more time.
Yep, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 2. It says, my doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew.
The Lord's doctrine, all right, the preach, which has been given to the men to preach, all right. He said it's going to be likened unto what? The dew.
Exactly.
It shall distill as what? Go ahead.
The dew. Yep. It says it shall distill. It's like my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb.
Yeah, it's going to be like rain. All right, adequate rain that's provided for what? For relief, to not destroy, but to help life come forth. All right, the doctrine in the way that it's been given to be. All right, and what it consists of. Because dew, according to the scriptures, is to assuage heat, is to give relief. All right, it's to make things better. Let's get that in Sirach 18. 18 and like 24, 16, 18, 16, something like that. Got it. Sirach 18.
18 to 16, so 16. Yeah.
Come on.
Sirach chapter 18, verse 16, it says, shall not the dew assuage the heat?
See, shall not the dew assuage the heat? See? In other words, what? Give relief. All right?
It's like a little book.
Go ahead.
Yeah, con. Sirach 18 and verse 16, it says, shall not the dew assuage the heat? So is a word better than a gift. I got this right here. This little joint. That way at least it's hanging.
Well, we good.
Con.
All right, one time.
Yep. Sirach 18 and 16, shall not the dew assuage the heat?
So there it is. This dew, which is this doctrine that we've been given, is to what? It's to assuage the heat. Let's get that word assuage. We're gonna get that word heat.
It's the word assuage. In the Google and the AI overview, it says assuage isn't. Okay, let me get past that. It says meaning to make milder, lessen, ease, or soothe.
See, ease or soothe. That's what assuage means. It makes to make milder, lessen, ease or soothe. Soothe. All right. So it's to lessen the problems that you have. You see the how do I want to say this? to lessen the afflictions you deal with. Because it's a spirit, because it's something I was meditating on. Like, you got to find the good in each day. Just like you got to find the lessons, a.k.a. the lesson in each day. Because every day is not going to be, like, the same. All right? Some days going to feel better than others. That's how it's going to be. The scriptures tell you that. And I was just meditating on that this morning. And despite the day, like for instance, a day might go in a certain way good, and the next day in that same way bad. But it might go good in another way that day. Right? You see? That's what you gotta understand. That's some things we gotta understand. All right, as we live life, you know, especially as awakened Israelites, you know, those that have been given life by, again, this doctrine, which is like an undo, right? Which, again, assuages the heat, which is what? Soothes, it lessens, it makes milder, it eases, all right, our tension and problems with things, because the doctrine gives you the perspective that you ultimately are to have. You see, in the grand scheme of things, and when it comes to things like specifically just period. All right? So I kind of want to go into that through the spirit, right? So, you hit on that?
Yeah, kind of. I got that word heat too.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, this is the word heat, the definition in the AI overview, and it gives a metaphorical use. And it says pressure, or the most intense part of a situation. An example, heat of the battle. Yeah, it's the metaphorical use in the AI overview. In the Google, it says
Of what?
Of the word heat.
Right.
It says intense emotion, pressure, or the most intense part.
See, the pressures. So the pressures, the emotions. The doctrine is to relieve, ease, lessen, make milder these emotions we have about things from the pressures of things. You see? The pressures we have to try to live up to something. You see, or be a certain thing. You got more?
Yeah, it's more. It says, or the most intense part of a situation. And it says, an example, heat of the battle. That's
No, it's two different
Read
things.
that last part again.
Yeah, it says, or the most intense part of a situation. An example, heat of the battle.
See, the heat of the battle, man. Hold on, read that one more time. Excuse me. Sloppy.
It says, or the most intense part of a situation.
Putting the heat on someone, or the most intense part of a situation. Yeah, exactly. So it lessens the most heat, right? It lessens heat, which is the pressure that's been put on you, you know, when things intense. That's what this doctrine does. It helps a brother does do that in this lot. You know, leaders of camps, elders, believers in disarray, sisters. You see, trying to do the right thing. You know, be a believing sister, whatever. Wait on the husband. Be in order with her husband. You know, what I meant by wait on her husband, meaning you don't have one and you're waiting. That helps. There's pressure that comes from those things. You see? Then you got you know, because your life, the truth should be how you live your whole life. Which in our life, we deal with the mundane things that regular people deal with, almost as if we're regular people, but we're not. All right? It tells you that. It tells you, what's that? It's 1 Corinthians 7. They that have wives be as though they had none, so forth and so on. And I'm getting that to show forth what? That obviously, as believers, prophets, teachers, brothers, sisters, we have regular life aspects too. All right, that everybody the common aspects of life for. All right, or move with them commonly. Right. Move with them and look at them and deal with them in a holy way, in the way we're supposed to. All right, in a way that's separate from how other people deal with these same aspects. Why? Because we got this doctrine. You got it?
Yeah, kind of. I'm starting to verse 26 of 1 Corinthians 7, verse 26. It says, I suppose therefore that this is good for the present distress.
See? Catching here. This is what's good to help deal. See? This proves that this word is as due.
Yep.
It's as adequate small amounts of rain that's needed. When you go to the grocery store and they like misting the produce, the vegetation, you know what I'm saying? It's adequate and it's hourly. Or you outside on a hot summer and someone got the sprinkler going. It's not completely dousing or, drowning. Obviously not drowning, but a word previous to,
right.
prior to that word, even hit that point. It's not completely wetting the, it's just, misting it, giving it what, because the heat good, all right? The heat is a purifying, is a cleansing agent, just like when cold is. Why you think you gotta keep your food cold?
Exactly.
Because it keeps, it gotta be hot or cold. So you have to deal with both climates. They have to be around. They actually help you survive. If you didn't have any pressure, where would there be? If there was no pressure, where would be diamonds? Where would be found diamonds? Where would there be good job? Way to handle that. None of that, nigga. Ain't no fucking pressure. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Go ahead, slide.
Yep. I'm gonna read this in the NLT. 1 Corinthians 7:26. It says, because of the present crisis, I think it is best to remain as you are. Back to the KJV. I suppose therefore.
So again, this is true. This word is giving you belief, ease, and it's gonna lessen. It's gonna, help you get through things that's tough. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind. It says, I suppose therefore that this is good for the present distress. I say that is good for a man so to be. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife?
It was giving you information on, obviously, what's going to ease your situation. Not trying to insert things you have, which obviously if you did, according to this, would make it worse. But instead, by keeping it, because it's a lesson like what you may think you already dealing with, or know you're dealing with. You feel it. All right? But that's not even the point. Jump down to those that have it.
Yep.
You good.
This is verse 29. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
See? That's talking about who believers. So the point again, we live a regular life. We deal with the regular aspects, the common aspects of life. Just not in the common way. We do it in the holy way. We deal with these things in the holy way. Brothers got so-called jobs and hobbies and, we eat, we sleep. You know what I'm saying? Brothers drink. There's brothers that drink. You know what I'm saying? Brothers got children. Brothers got family. Brothers like a good time, if you will. Go ahead.
Tell you. It says, and those and they that weep as though they wept not.
Dealing with the same aspects, right? Common aspects. Brothers got feelings too. You see? Go ahead.
Yep. It says.
So we deal with what? Heat.
Yep.
These are the things, the pressures, the feelings we get. The responsibilities we have. You see? Vows we made. Come on.
Yep. It says 31 slide. It says, and they that weep as though they wept not,
Yeah.
and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not.
Yeah, we mad about things, stuff happen in our life to where we can weep. See? So it's proof. Right?
And they that rejoice as though they rejoice not.
Yeah, we got things we happy about. So basically, well, how are you guys having it, but it's like you're not having it because of this doctrine that gives us relief to do, which is what we are to take in for ourselves and then go give this person. You see, this person. Go ahead.
It says, and they that buy as though they possess not.
Yeah, man, brothers buy shit. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't fucking tell. You know? But we don't even buy in the same way.
I feel that.
Should be buying in the same way. All right. Is there more?
And it says in verse 31, and they that use this world as not abusing it.
See, and we use this world too. All right? We got things we deal with in the world that's of the world. And we use in the world to help ourselves maintain, you know, whatever. Stay sane. All right? But it's not in the same way. You can't to where you can't tell. There's a lot of pressures, but this world is a world, according to Messiah, that cause you to lose your own soul. It'll drive you crazy, man. Set your own vows to sell. But we don't. Have you crying? The same world is the world that you use it, but it'll also have you in your feelings mad about shit. Because you're trying to use it, it ain't, you know, it's like putting your dollar in a vending machine and the shit gets stuck. That's the world. No. There ain't nobody there to give it back. In some random hall with a vending machine. I ain't bought nothing out of a vending machine damn near ever, but many years. But nonetheless, if you did, you know the experience. You know, possible. So how do we deal with that? Do you crash out, or do you just keep living after that? Guess what? Something good gonna happen in that day. Right. Because you might have another day where that same instance happened, and guess what? You put one in, and 3 came out. You put $1 in, and 3 come out. That's how this life goes. Gotta understand it. All right? You finish the verse?
A little bit more here.
You can finish it and then drop the Sirach too.
Yep, it says, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
Yeah, see? So that's why we don't get caught up in it. We don't let it take us out. Have us all over the place. Because of this word, believing us on how to handle it. And because it gives us basically keep a perspective of the grand scheme of things. It gives us foresight. You see what I'm saying? It tells us to be balanced. There's no balance in like only being mad.
Right.
There's no balance in a day completely being bad. If it was completely bad, what did you learn from it? You see? So that's balance. You can't be balanced in your perspective on things. Unbalanced, safe. All right? So let's go ahead and jump back to that Sirach before we get that 18 to 16, and then the other was another one.
Sirach 2, what you call it. Then I got
Not that one.
Heritage. Or the previous Deuteronomy 32.
You finished that. Well, I thought it was another one I called. Sirach 24.
Yeah, the Heritage kind.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah. Sirach chapter 18 and verse 16, it says, shall not the dew assuage the heat?
See? So this is what this doctrine is for. What is the do again? All right? Jump back.
Yep. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 2. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew.
See, his speech shall distill as the dew. This the do. Not just the doctrine that's being spoke. Not the book, because the book don't work if you don't read it. The book doesn't work for you if you don't read it and understand it. If you don't have one explain it to you that's been sent. Like the brother Uriah, he did a beautiful lesson going into that, last night, I believe. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind.
So this is why it says my doctrine shall be as, read it one more time.
Yep. My doctrine shall drop as the rain.
His doctrine shall drop as the rain. All right, rain gives helps things grow. All right, you can't just see it's balance in rain. All right, it's all about your perspective. Like, yeah, it's raining and you can't go outside, but it's probably slowing up evil, helping things grow. Yeah, it's raining and your vegetation can grow. But now you can't go, you need to go. See, it says a balance. You just got to keep a balanced perspective. Because in good, you can damn complain, and in bad, you can rejoice. Sirach 11 tells you that. All right? I'll read it real quick. It's Sirach. We're going to give us some props here, bro. You gotta have a certain mentality dealing with these prophecies, living in the time of these prophecies. This is Sirach 11, and I'm gonna start at 24. Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things. What evil can come to me hereafter? See? So in good, you're supposed to be able to see bad. You want to be balanced. You want to be even killed. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and it's obviously not supposed to be. See? So when you up, let's read on. It says, when you up, you want to keep a balanced perspective. Like, yeah, things can be going good. I could be making a lot of money, but a lot of fake people in the company could be changing people around me. You see what I'm saying? Or it could, be another way for me to end up somewhere I shouldn't be, into things I shouldn't be. Yeah, I had a good game, right? But let me not get big-headed or something, right? Some shit like something like that, for lack of words. Anyway, it says, and in the day of affliction there is no remembrance of prosperity, for it is an easy thing. And that's basically the point. It says, there's another one on there. This one. You still in Sirach 18?
Yep.
Jump to 25.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 18, verse 25. It says, when thou hast enough,
See?
remember the time of hunger.
See?
And when thou art rich, think upon poverty and eat.
See? Yeah. Making a lot of money, but you gotta share that shit though. You see what I'm saying? You gotta do the right thing. You the top dog, but there's more people gunning for you now.
Exactly. Yep.
Shit, nobody gunning for you. You got peace now.
Exactly, got peace.
So, so it's all in perspective. You got something to say?
No, I was going to mention the comment, the brother's going to comment for it.
Bring it up.
Yeah, comment.
Yeah, it's scripture.
They bring it out. From the brother Uriah, on the comment board, Uriah Yasharala. It says, Ecclesiastes 1:18, for in much wisdom is much grief. And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Yeah. So it says, in much wisdom, much grief. So the more you know, the more you held accountable to know and understand and have to deal with. And that's like more heat, more pressure, more. You got more on your plate. And it also says, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So it's the same thing. The more you know, you're gonna increase sorrow. But at the end of the day, you know what the end look like, and you know how to prepare for the days to come. So it's an outright balance with everything that you is an outright balance in everything, and you got to be able to find that, because that's a way to withstand.
Yep.
That's that do.
Yeah, you failed today, but now you got the answers on how not to fail tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Or in the next minute. midst, but now you paying attention if you keep in perspective and not just idle mentally. Ain't nothing like basically it's like non-moving waters. It's dead waters. See, when you got this truth, your mind is not ever stagnant. It's always cleaning, filtering, analyzing. Exactly. Thoughts coming up, is washing that shit away. It's filtering. Just like if you throw your clothes in the washer gonna clean it. See? Real water cleans you. You don't need soap. You see what I'm saying? Think about that. Food water. Real water, you ain't gotta put lemon in. You don't gotta put no damn Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, whatever the hell in, because it's already got minerals in it. So that's why the Lord compares His word to water. And that's a side point, but that tells you how much we really ain't experiencing water then. He compared it to water, so that should tell you how powerful true water is. We just wouldn't, it's water. Like, he's not talking about Aquafina, Dasani, tap water, pool water. Niggas drink pool water, chlorine. Your grandma secret lemon water. He's not talking about that. He's talking about real water that he created in his water. People go to the glaciers overseas and get right now. Take a cup and put it in there. Real water. Remember the movie Waterboy?
Yup.
It's high quality H2O. They said high quality.
Yeah, high quality.
Yeah. He said high quality. He had the water amulet. But anyway. So it's all perspective, man. All right, so you go back to the Deuteronomy 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 2. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew. And it's like as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass.
Who's the tender herb? You. Who's the grass? Us. People. The flesh.
Flesh is grass.
Getting in on this doctrine, right to where you calm down and you're more concerning now. While in your quest of greatness. You see what I'm saying? Your quest of survival, right? You know what I'm saying? Maintain endurance. It helps you be how you need to be. But now you have meditations like this. Alright? Like I said, I was just sitting thinking, I'm like, man, this is a bad day, man. That's a good day. There's a scripture that tell you now you're supposed to do that.
Steve.
I mean, that's a scripture, but ain't the one I'm talking about necessarily.
How you fighting?
Oh yeah. Well,
Ecclesiastes 7:10.
Yeah, come. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 10. It says, say not thou.
See, so it's already telling you automatically, don't do this, don't do something. What is it telling us not to do? What is it? Don't say. It's telling us outright not to say something. All right, and what is it?
Say not thou.
Where you at again?
7 and 10, Ecclesiastes.
Go ahead.
It says, say not thou, What is the cause that the former days were better than these?
See? You ain't supposed to say that, man. Because it ain't over with any damn way. You live in an entire timeline. It says, grab that scripture real quick. It says, surely better is the end of a thing. Made me think of people, babies go through ugly stages. Hey, you gotta let the baby grow, man.
Right.
Hey, baby got no damn,
you got no damn hair,
hair,
teeth,
teeth and shit.
Yeah. You gotta get it.
He fucked
Give
up.
him
He got
time, yeah.
man hair.
Yeah, Lord. Just grow this way, bald in the back. That's rude.
You want to go to 7 and 8.
Yep, it's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 8. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
See? Like a girl when she get a big top. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she bald right now, but you know, I guess if her, you know, her method run its course, run its process, the madness will be proven to be something you ain't supposed to get caught up in. See? The madness of how it is and felon, you know, or is at the current, or may just be current, simply currently felon. Once the process, we gotta let it run its course. Ever looked in the inside of a washing machine while I was running in the beginning? Like, man, I don't know about this. This looks crazy. But take it out once it's done. Let it run its course. You know? The tree start off real small. Alright, so basically you're gonna have good and bad. Alright? But it's all about the perspective. You got the right perspective to ease the emotions you may be feeling about it. Alright? Finish.
A little bit more.
Go ahead. I think you read the 14. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
See? Because why? It takes patience to see the end of the thing that's beautiful. That's why you don't want to get to the point of...
Yeah, so back to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 9, it says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry. For anger rested in the bosom of fools.
Yeah, so don't be so quick to get caught up and not realize, like, yeah, today not going how yesterday. You know? That's how the days is, man. All right? Get that James real quick.